If you wish now, for a while, we may have sharing interaction.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
First of all, Raven asked me to send you her love.
All right. Our love as well, in return.
And for those who don't know, Bashar's birthday, Earth Day, is November 11th, so I'd like to wish you a happy pre-birthday.
Thank you.
And for those who are listening in who couldn't see it, I wanted to say how impressed I am that you were able to make a paper airplane with your eyes closed and to sail it out into the audience. So thank you for sharing that.
You are, and with us, all at once, together making the plane.
Thank you. And thank you so much for this weekend and for this information you're sharing, because it really resonates with me where I am in my life right now. And I feel I've come so far in the 23 years that I've been with you.
All right.
First of all, last time I interacted with you, I shared how I was driving a very old car and very nervous about it.
Yes.
And shortly thereafter, I was able to get a new car.
All right.
And I was able to manifest other material things in my life.
Yes.
My organization, Create Now, is making great progress and strides.
All right.
And I've been following your lesson that it's taken me all these years to learn, which is to surrender.
Yes.
And thank you.
Why? Why does that work?
I'm trusting.
Simple.
Okay.
Why does that work?
Because I know.
Because those things exist within you. They're not things that exist outside of you, really. So the idea of the law of attraction is not so much literally that you're attracting things to you from outside. It's that you, yourself, recognize those things are already within you as part of your definition of being. You follow me?
Yes.
Attraction is really just awakening to what's already within you and allowing yourself to know that they are part of the definition of who you are.
So thank you. And so when I feel those moments of anxiety or fear,
yes,
then I need to just focus on the I am and the knowing and to let go and surrender for the anxiety.
Why not?
That's great. That's great information, and I plan to use it.
Oh, all right, but you don't even have to plan it, you just do it.
I'm doing it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I was also pleased that, you know, over the years my friends have teased me that I'm always asking a million questions. And I didn't really have any compelling questions to ask you. I've just felt I needed to share.
As we have said, you do not need questions to communicate with us. You can always make statements if you wish.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But last night we were discussing with Daryl, the channel, the idea of your relationship with him as a future self.
Yes.
And we had as a group a question about whether genetics are involved with that. Because you're a hybrid entity and a future self, are Daryl's genetics a part of you as well?
Yes.
And is there anything else you can elaborate on that?
At the end of this transmission today, after your break, we have a little story surprise.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the synchronous introduction.
Hi, Bashar.
And are you good day?
At the beginning of the meditation, I was staring at the crystal before we closed our eyes, and I felt like I had this strong image talking about this knowing sense, and when you were mentioning about dropping the veil, and
yes.
Of the facets of the crystal being this representation of all of our parts and selves and thoughts and ideas. And I want to talk and take that knowing idea and talk about the idea of how you've often said that we can't really meet you, at least at this point, in person, because we would feel fractured. And I feel like those two ideas are connected.
Yes.
And I got that strongly, and I got the idea, and when you mentioned the film frame about the focus,
yes.
I'm looking for a bridge here in terms of being able to be closer to being more cohesive and, I don't know how to say this, connected within myself to be able to be closer to the idea of meeting you or people like you, or being my better self or my more whole self.
All right. First of all, remember that what we have also already said is that many of you have actually physically already met us. You just don't remember.
Physically. Not
physically.
Okay. Not in dreams.
Do you remember when we talked about encountering the race we called the Thuk?
Yes.
And how their special quality was that as long as you were talking to them and facing them, everything seemed normal. But as soon as you turned away, you completely forgot you had had that conversation with them at all.
Yes.
Well, we have learned a thing or two from them. And so, part of the idea of slowly forming contact with all of you is that we are using that technique to actually appear to some of you physically, but then allow you to forget so that it doesn't interfere with your normal life, but at the same time, it's always there within your consciousness that you've actually already met us. So the more you start to remember that you have already met us, the more you allow your imagination to play with the fact that you've actually already met us, the sooner you will remember you have met us, and the sooner you will create the appropriate state in which to meet us again without forgetting. Because it's already happened. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But?
Okay, I get it.
Are you sure?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Can you play with that?
I can.
All right. So play with the fact in your imagination. Let a picture unwind. If you wish to use the word imagine or pretend, an actual encounter where you really have met us face to face. Imagine it. Doesn't matter if it's absolutely, literally accurate, according to how it actually did happen. Use that as a symbol to garner the energy of the encounter. And as soon as you start playing with that, little bit at a time, in those imaginary scenarios, when you imagine them in a relaxed state, little bits of them will start to come to life. Little bits of those pictures in your mind, those encounters, as they play out in your imagination, will suddenly take on a life of their own. For example, you might suddenly see an image of us turn and look at you in a way you didn't imagine. And you will suddenly recognize that you're actually remembering part of the actual encounter. It will have a realistic quality to it, a lucid quality to it. If you're a little bit taken aback by that at the moment, it's all right. Because it may appear that suddenly your own imagination is not under your control. But it is. It's just that you are allowing bits and pieces of that recollection to come to life again. And suddenly the reality will supersede whatever symbol you've created in your imagination, no matter how realistic it may appear. It will take on a dimensional quality of actual life. And in that snippet, in that moment, in that fraction of an instant, you will see the true life in our eyes, and you will know that the encounter was real. And the more you do that, the more real it will become, until such time as there is no difference between what is unfolding in your imagination and suddenly, out of that state, out of that imagining, one day, you will blink and think you're coming out of your imagination, but we will still be standing in front of you. And you will realize we have arrived.
I see.
Now, does that help?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will add one more bit of information we have not been allowed to share with you until now. As we have said, we will not be the first hybrid species to interact with you openly. The first will be those that are more representative of the immediate time frame closer to yours that represents the creation of the hybrid children from your own genetics, your own family coming back. And we have mentioned that some of the sightings you have had, such as the one known as the Phoenix Lights, are the ships of the hybrid species that will be the ones to make first open contact with you. some of this information about them will appear in the story we're going to tell you after the break. All right? Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
I know you. Good day.
I would like to talk a little bit about what you said before. Thank you very much for this sharing.
You are welcome.
Is it when I settle myself, identify myself, not as any kind of physical or psychological form, but a field of consciousness?
Yes.
It's doesn't matter what kind of experience.
No. In fact, it doesn't even require that. When you say, I am, it doesn't even require any kind of representation to go along with it at all.
So you're staying just at this field, and that's it. It doesn't matter.
You're not even necessarily a field. You don't even have to think of yourself as a field of consciousness. You are literally the 0 point. I am. It doesn't even have to be represented as a field. A field is a secondary manifestation. 0 point doesn't experience itself as a manifestation of anything other than its own existence.
So, in a sense, it's closer to non-existence, to the.
It is as close as possible as you can come to the concept of non-existence, because you cannot become non-existent. But it's as close as you can get within existence. Yes.
Okay.
It is the very 0 moment of existence itself, the very essence of existence itself, the I am realization.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes, very much.
Thank you.
And another question: you told that in spirit you can have some kind of individual,
yes, of course,
conscious existence. So, is it individuality in the sense of 0 point, or it's something different?
No, it's something different. You can have more access, in that sense, more easily without the space-time construct to the 0 point experience, but you can also very easily manipulate and make malleable your own identity in a variety of ways. It's that you can still have identity, but your identity is much more flexible than you allow for in physical reality. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Bashar.
And you, good day.
Thank you. In listening to your description of holographic images,
yes.
I would very much appreciate a feedback or any sort of giving of information that you could lend to me in helping me to, at this point in my life, determine the pivotal nature of where I am taking my set of gifts and talents, which I have been developing.
Which are what?
I feel very closely connected with children,
yes.
With music,
all right.
With dance.
All right. These things are representative of your passions?
Yes, indeed.
And thus then automatically, by definition, obviously, representative of your true nature?
Yes.
So then where in your imagination do you wish to take them? How in your imagination do you wish to express them? How in your imagination do you see yourself expressing these things?
I see myself allowing those who I contact to become more and more of themselves and to become more and more transformed.
All right. So what do you see yourself doing that would allow them the opportunity to choose to allow themselves to become more and more of themselves? What do you actually describe and define as the behavior, the actual actions you see yourself doing in your imagination that would allow others to be able to do this?
I see myself throwing up my hands with children, dancing freely, expressing joy, and
anything else?
I see video documentation.
All right. Are these things you have begun to actually do?
In certain senses.
Are there ways in which you would like to do them more passionately, more fully, more creatively?
Absolutely.
Will you do them? Is there anything stopping you from doing them?
I don't think there is anything stopping me. I would just, I think it's a matter of development.
A matter of development. Which means what?
Which means that little by little, I think.
How little? By how little?
I think that's up to me, I guess.
Yes! It can be this little, 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 it can be this little. Or it can be this big. It's up to you, completely up to you, based on your ability to believe what you are ready to process, what you are ready to see, what you are ready to learn, what you're ready to know about yourself. Which brings us to another aspect of knowing, because when you come from a state of knowing and you look at all the situations in your life from a state of knowing, you're going to know a lot more about yourself as well. Being willing to let it be all right to know a lot more about yourself and see the illusions you have been creating for yourself is part and parcel of your ability to use knowingness effectively. So when you go through your process, little by little, lot by lot, however you choose to develop, you can then take to heart that what your state of knowingness brings you about yourself is also equally important for you to achieve even greater states of knowing. You follow?
I do.
But don't hesitate. Do what you see in your imagination as best as your belief system will allow. Because that's the only way you're going to be that person, is by copying her. Copying the her you see in your imagination, doing the things you say you would like to do. As passionately as you see her doing them, do them that way. That's what she's for. To show you how to be that person. That's what your imaginations are for. To show you how to be the person you imagine you would like to be. All you have to do is behave like that person in all the circumstances of your life that you see her behaving that way in. Be like her. Be like him. Then you will be her, you will be him, and you will have her life, his life. Make sense?
Yes.
Does this help you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Happy dancing.
Thank you.
Hi, Bashar.
And good day to you.
I have a two-parter. The first part is
two-parter.
Two-parter.
All right, part one.
And I know that part two is appropriate. I know it. Part one is a dream that I was awakened from this morning with a thunderous bang outside.
Thunderous bang.
Right.
All right.
And in the physical, there was a physical event going on that awoke me from this dream, and the dream was. In the dream, you know, we had the Topanga fires recently, and
all right, we understand. Yes.
I had to load the car with everything that was important to me and wait to see if we had to evacuate.
Yes.
And we didn't, in the sense. So then I unloaded the car, and everything's fine. So in the dream, I dreamed that I'm living in a city.
By the way, everything's fine anyway.
Right. Right.
Go ahead.
Thank you. In the dream, I'm living in a city, and I look out instead of in the woods where I really live.
Yes.
And I'm looking out the window, and the city is ablaze, and
Yes.
there's a bridge, and I'm seeing oh my God, it's really time to get out now.
All right.
And there's no time to pack the car with everything I love.
Yes.
And so I'm very calm, and
All
I
right.
just go, oh, okay, I'll just pack it with the doggy toys.
Oh, all right.
2 of each.
2 of each.
2 of each, right.
So now you have your own little ark of doggy toys.
I have my own little, and only one dog, but he gets 2 of each of his style of toy.
Yes.
So I think that's
But
very...
there are 2 dogs.
Yes, and I thought, where did that dog come from? Because I only have one dog.
Yes.
Where did
So,
that dog come from, Bashar?
Where did that dog come from?
Where did that dog come from? I
Are
don't know. Are you going to tell me?
you serious?
Oh no! Of course. People think I'm a dog sometimes because I love them so much. I think like them. I totally get them.
And it's representative of your serious connection.
Of course. Thank you. Oh my goodness. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, and the fire being real comfortable.
Yes.
Okay, so now we'll go to part 2.
Oh, part 2. All right.
Okay, I might get real emotional on this, so just,
that's
just
all
be
right.
prepared.
Have you been fake emotional up to now?
No.
Now you're going to get real emotional?
Oh. No, I mean,
Yes, I understand. I'm teasing you.
volume-wise. Okay, no. Thank you.
Throwing you doggy toys.
Thank you. Okay. Back when the big fire happened.
Yes, the big
from
fire.
Malibu and was rushing towards Topanga.
Yes.
We had to evacuate with all of our animals and be outside of the canyon for 3 days watching TV, not knowing if our house was okay. So we're sitting and we're a nervous wreck. I'm absolutely petrified. My stomach is turned inside out. I've never been so scared in my life.
Oh, all right.
It
How
went
exciting.
deep. It went deep. Yeah.
Yes.
So then all of a sudden we're watching TV and I see the picture on the screen is the view outside my window.
Yes. And you go, oh, look, there's my house.
Yeah. It's a hillside that I meditate on the rocks on that hillside.
Yes.
The blaze was on the hillside exactly next to it, about, I was guessing, 10 to 15 fire seconds as the fire was moving
Yes.
away.
Yes. And?
Time of moment of reckoning, right?
Yes.
Shock.
Yes.
I hear a voice inside my head say no to the fire. I'm thinking, right?
Yes.
And it's my unseen friends, and I'm going, that's totally stupid. And then the next thing
You
that
have
I
stupid
thought,
unseen friends?
no. It was the thought that I had. It was the thought that
Yes,
I
I
thought
know.
it was a
I
stupid
know.
thought.
Doggy toys, doggy toys.
Thank you. Okay. So then I'm thinking, well, what other choice do I have? You know, we've already gone through 2 seconds with that thought.
Yes.
And so I thought, okay. And so I try to say no, and nothing comes out. There's nothing. My vocal cords won't work.
Oh, all right.
So then I try again, and nothing comes out. And I try again, and there's like this gross little squeak kind of comes out. And I'm trying, and I'm really giving it everything I've got to say no to the fire. And finally, a little no comes out, and then a bigger no comes out, and then, no, you son of a bitch, no! Starts screaming, coming out. The girl next to me is screaming the same thing. She's also a channel. And we're screaming. And all of a sudden,
Yes.
the energy, it was like we were in the middle of a hurricane, and it was blasting. And all of a sudden, everything went totally calm.
Yes.
And it
The eye of the
instantaneously.
storm.
Exactly. And that's
All right.
exactly what we felt.
Yes.
We looked at each other like, what the hell just happened?
What the heaven just happened.
What the heaven just happened? And the picture had changed from the screen, so we couldn't tell in physical reality what happened, right?
Yes.
But we chose
Yes.
to feel that that meant everything was okay. And when we got home 3 days later,
yes,
they had stopped the fire exactly
yes,
there.
yes,
exactly.
Yes.
So now this has been a really big event in my life.
Yes.
And when I try to share it with people, they get a little overwhelmed.
I see.
But I think this is the right place to talk about this because...
Well, obviously, because you already are.
Right. Right. Because obviously there was some big time synchronicity going on there.
Oh, yes. And it sounds
involved...
like your invisible friends threw you a bone.
Well, it does, doesn't it?
Yes.
And it was a life-changing,
yes,
reality-shattering...
Life-changing, yes.
Yes.
Which means you're not the same person.
I have never been the same person
in the same
since
reality
then.
At all.
Uh-huh.
So what actually happened?
Okay, now here's what I came up with.
Yes.
And with some help from Tora,
yes,
came up with, but she didn't give me the whole thing. He didn't give me the whole thing.
Understood.
Okay. Because there's this outside reality occurring.
There is?
Well, I'm not going to be able to get through this without you bumping me, are you? Okay. All right.
Do you want me to relax the leash a little bit?
A tad, yes. Please.
All right. Go ahead, run around. Chase your tail for a while.
Oh, no, I can't believe you're doing this to me. Okay. Where was I? Okay, why?
Fetch.
Why? I've always cared more about dogs than people. I mean, I pull my car over on the side of the street to see the dogs. Yes. What?
What's the difference?
What's the difference?
Yes.
I don't know. There's the big puppy dog eyes. They just get me. They just get me. What's the difference?
All right, well, go on with your story.
Okay. That's another time. Okay, so when I talked to Tora about it about a week later after the fires, I said, this is what happened. What do you think? He said, well, you didn't stop the fire with your anger, Victoria.
Yes.
You stopped the fire with your love. And I went,
yes,
I can see that the love was under the anger. Okay. And then I was thinking later.
Yes.
And I thought, it also felt like there was kind of a divine intervention in some way. Well, that's what I wanted to clarify because I needed that to put there.
Based on what we have talked about the nature of the structure of existence, do you understand what obviously happened? I already just gave you a clue. You're not the same person, not in the same reality.
I changed that reality because I chose...
No,
What?
You didn't change the reality. You shifted to another one, representative of your preferential state of being. You tunneled through, with your energy, that eye of the storm feeling was literally you tunneling through, shifting your frequency from one reality to another that simultaneously coexist, parallel reality. One reality in which the fire swept through that area, taking everything with it. Another in which the fire stops at that point. You shifted to the reality in which the fire stops.
So I didn't stop it? I just shifted
you can't
realities?
Stop it. It's already existing in every possible configuration that it can.
Oh.
It's not about changing the outer reality, because there isn't one. It's about changing the inner reality and experiencing the result reflected back to you of the new reality you have taken yourself to.
So all that emotion that was going on in me, that was the turmoil and the terrifiedness of the 3 days, and the trying to then access my vocal cords, and having such difficulty doing that, was a physical part of shifting that.
Yes!
Yes! Cool!
Yes.
Cool.
Remember, we have talked about the idea that oftentimes shifting from one dimension to another will actually experience a little bit of what you might call temporary paralysis, because you're attempting to still work in one dimension when you're no longer there. So as soon as you hit the eye of the storm, you were free. In that sense, you had made the shift. You were now working in a new dimension, a new parallel reality, where you had finally let go of all the things that belonged in the old reality that no longer work. And then you could speak.
And then the experience of the fires got less each time.
Yes.
Even in the dream. In the dream
Yes.
state, it got
Yes, yes, yes.
less.
Yes.
Even
As
though it
you
was
shift
right
your
outside the
realities in
window.
that direction, that can be one result. Yes.
But then it has more to it than that, because
Well, of
it's
course.
not just fires. It's
No.
it's
everything.
It's
But that's
everything.
your focus. That's what you're using as your transformational crucible symbol.
which is what fire is.
Yes.
Right.
Does this help?
Yeah.
Are you proud that you have arrived at this realization?
Proud? Oh, that's an interesting word.
Yes. It's all right. I'm not going to put a negative spin on it.
Okay. Am I proud?
Do you feel good and appropriate that you have arrived
Oh,
at
I
this
feel
realization?
ecstatic. Ecstatic
Thank you.
to, but proud threw me a little bit.
All right. Why?
Why?
Yes.
Because I'm kind of thinking, been taught that proud is not really a good emotion to have.
I see. You think it comes with arrogance and negative ego.
Yeah.
It can.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to.
Right. Oh.
Pride in the positive sense can also simply be the recognition of your own beauty. You understand? The recognition of your belonging to all that is.
Oh, thank you.
That you
because-
acknowledge and accept and own yourself completely. It can be that too.
Without that negative tinge
Without
to
the
it.
negative idea.
Yeah. Thank you, because I haven't been willing to let myself do that
Well,
because
all right.
of that
Are
definition.
you willing to now?
Oh, yeah.
Then.
Oh, yeah. I'll work on
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
Then, has this helped?
Yes. So much. Thank you.
Then you may please take a bow wow. Well, you can say it however you wish. Bow, wow. What is your present time frame?
12 o'clock.
We have whatever time we say we have.
Oh, yes.
You may continue briefly.
Thank you, Bashar. Thank you for the motion with the dot.
Yes.
And the meditation this morning. It really shifted me, or allowed me to shift
Thank you.
rather dramatically from where I've been stuck for the last few years,
All
or
right.
allowed myself to be.
Thank you.
And really remember where I was and how I could move forward.
All right.
And I have a question.
Yes.
I hope that you can give me some insight as to the numbers. Last night, during the lottery, I was drawn number 3 of 10.
Yes.
And my parking ticket, the numerical value on the number on the ticket was 201020.
All right.
And so there's 2 20s that keep representing themselves, and I have these numbers represented all the time.
Synchronistically.
Synchronistically. Is this a positive synchronicity? Is
Do you
this
want it to
something-
be?
I do.
Well, then it is.
Okay. My question is, this session has really helped me to shift. Do you feel that it could be a copy of it could be received positively by the individual known to you as Dawn?
A copy of it could be received positively?
Yeah.
There
That
is
it could
always
have-
a positive way to do anything.
Okay.
The individuals must simply assess for themselves what methodology represents the idea of the expression of positive reality for them.
Right, but I would be sending it unconditionally, but do you perceive that it would be received?
We cannot make that determination. It
by
is
the
up to
individual. Okay. Okay, thank you. I really just, I mean, it's been absolutely amazing this morning. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Are you still exploring democracy?
Absolutely.
Did you
Absolutely.
find the difference between democracy and republic?
No, not as of yet.
Shall I help?
Please.
A democracy is that which allows for an unlimited majority to rule, but absolutely provides no basis for the protection of individual or minority rights. A republic allows there to be a democratic process of voting, but through a constitution imposes controls on the majority to allow for individual and minority rights. Now, which do you prefer?
Honestly, I think I prefer true democracy.
I have just told you the difference.
Right.
So you are saying that you are in favor of an unlimited majority with absolutely no regard for individual or minority rights?
Yes.
Why?
Because the will of the people should be the will of the planet.
But you see, the idea is the will of the people are expressed in a constitution, not in a majority system.
Well, if the Constitution were upheld, then that might make sense.
That's
but
the key.
Since the Constitution
That's
isn't upheld
the
under the
key.
Republic, then the Republic
No.
isn't working.
The republic doesn't work when it is replaced by a pure majority democracy. And that's what has happened.
No, because if our system were working as a democracy, the situations that we're in right now, we wouldn't be in because it's not the will of the majority.
The situation, however, that you are missing is that the structure, the form of government called a democracy, is what allows for the continuation of what you don't want. The form of government called the republic is the only way to bring to light how the republic has been misrepresented.
Okay.
You cannot, as your Einstein said, solve a problem from the same level in which the problem was created.
That makes a lot of sense on a lot of levels to me right now. It really
right.
does. It's really
Do a
it's
little
really
bit
clear.
more of your own research, and you will see that just because there may be corruption in a republic that allows there to be a misrepresentation doesn't mean that you abandon